Hey there, community. Jason Rahm here for DevCentral. This is DevCentral Connects, and I have a tremendous guest today, and I will bring him on here in just a moment. But it's been a while since we've been live, and we used to be in a regular cadence of this, and now, it's ad hoc as we need to get a message out, and we have a message for you today. And so, I'm not going to belabor the point. We're gonna get right to it. All right. I have with me esteemed colleague, Joe Hermes. Joe, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. So tell the audience what it is you do for F5.
The official title is Senior Director of Solutions Engineering. I've got teams from across solutions engineer teams from across North America in the enterprise, digital, and select and tech segments for F5. So a great number of folks that know a lot about our products and technology.
All right. Very good. All right. So today topic for everyone who has joined us is we're going to talk about F5 Academy. And that is, take us back to the beginning, because is it your brainchild that F5 Academy spawned from, or were you part of?
Yeah, I would like to say I had that kind of thought process going on in my head, but really the genesis of the F5 Academy starts with our user groups, our F5 user groups. When I was a customer and then an SE and whatnot, we used to have these fantastic user groups in various locations. I think of places like Kansas City, Columbus, Pittsburgh, Chicago, Minneapolis, throughout the Midwest. I say those because it's the territory I covered at the time, where we get, 7,500 folks talking about F5 technology and really digging in on things. And so what we recognized with the user groups was the greatness of that content and the ability to really get a message out, but there was no coordination across teams and across the country. So we just decided that the F5 Academy would be a great way to kind of standardize on content, locations, and kind of the back end systems of what it takes to put these things together. So the Academy itself is, focused on education, training, and that sort of thing. So you always get a training, using our UDF platform. So you'll get some education knowledge, and then also some discussions on, roadmaps and future F5 technology. So it's a nice evolution of the user groups.
Cool, thank you. And so we also have F5 Academy at App World every year. Yep. And what's the difference between what a customer might expect at a roadshow versus what they might expect at the App World?
Yep. So App World is going to be a lot more in depth with a lot more labs, all lab focus on the Academy. We're going to have, in addition to a lab this time on application study tool, we're going to do some discussions on API security, and AI gateway. So talking about security and some new and innovative ideas we've had, and some things that we're hearing from a lot of our customers. So it's more of a two-way type communication, whereas we focus a lot on the education at App World.
Okay. And so the stops we have here in North America, there's like 17 of them this spring. Yep. Is that right? And I'm hitting 5. Yep. My whole hand in there. I'm hitting 5. Let me see if I can remember it. I'm coming to Columbus and Denver, Kansas City, Philadelphia, and Reston. Those are the 5 I'm coming to. So if you're watching this, you're going to be in one of those cities, or you live in one of those cities, come check out the Academy. I'd love to meet you and talk shop and nerd out on stuff.
And those are going to be more epic than even the normal ones are with you in attendance there, Jason. So it'll be good.
Well, I always hit Kansas City because I live here. Even when I was in St. Louis, I'd drive over because I have family in the area, and it's only a 4-hour drive from Illinois when I lived over there. And so I've always had a heart for the Kansas City one, but I try and get around to the ones I haven't been to before. And so as we do the spring and fall every year, hopefully, eventually, I'll hit them all. And so if I haven't been to your city yet, shoot me a message, and I'll try to make that a priority, maybe in the fall. All right. So what moment, like when we kicked off the shift from just like kind of disparate user groups to kind of a more centrally focused academy. What was a moment that kind of just hit you that, hey, we might have something here, not just for us and our planning, but also for the customers and partners that come to these?
Yeah, having the content kind of be the same across allowed us to really hone in on great content for our customers at these events. So every week that we go through these, so we start in this case, we start April 17th coming up just around the corner, and we end in June. So every week the SE team gets together and we're like, hey, what worked, what didn't work, what do we need to change in the content, what questions did we get that we maybe weren't prepared for or didn't have covered in the content, that we can kind of get those out in the open. So we really make it better as we go along, so continuous improvement. But the moment that really said, we have something here is when it goes back to 2020 and COVID, and starting to think about our customer base started hiring people from different locations. A lot of folks have teams from across the United States or Canada, and getting that content, being able to say to a team member in Florida, if you go here, we're going to be able to talk about the same stuff that we met and we talked about at this other one, rather than the disparate user groups having sometimes completely different content. So the information is the same and allows our customers to kind of communicate on that same level from across the North America.
Yeah, one of the cool things about doing it in person and being in the room is that not everyone has a formal Chatham House rules, but some of them do. And it's like you can just kind of talk open and freely about the challenges that your org has, or that you may just personally be having with technology and all that. We can kind of all just kind of talk together, work those things out. And we've whiteboarded before, in and around the other content, and just, hey, let's sidebar that and let's just go jump on a whiteboard and talk through these things. So those things are always special moments at these at these events as well. Do you have a particular memory or anything from any of these events that jump out at you?
Yeah, I remember the early days. We used to do bring any question to us and we'll find an answer, which is always a very daunting opportunity, because you don't know what's going to be asked. And so we were working on live iRules essentially, and just like, wow, do I know enough to cover any of the answers, or do I have a phone a friend in the room? So usually, Jason, when you're in the room, we like to do that, because stump Jason, then you've done something on that. So it's those are the fun moments and the questions. But some of the events that we've done, we've had pickleball, we've done some of the other things. It's also kind of memorable. We're doing Top Golf at some locations and playing golf against our customers, or Top Golf, and seeing who can put a ball in the correct target, or even get somewhat close, is kind of fun at times. So
yeah, I've done the Top Golf. I did Top Golf at Vegas when we were out there for Connect. It wasn't an App World one, but many years ago, back in the .com days, vendors would pay lots and lots of money to take you out and do things, and one of them was like a golf weekend and all that. And I went out, and they bought clubs and all this, and so it's like I played for a while until the vendor stopped paying for it, and then I realized, it's like, why am I paying to be angry for 4 hours? And so
right.
I sold my golf clubs, and it's like, this is not worth it to me. I'm terrible at golf. But something like a Top Golf is great, because I could go swing somebody else's clubs. Yep. And try and either hit the targets or hit the guy driving the golf ball collector.
Which absolutely suggestion for Top Golf is that should be like points. Like somehow if you can hit the guy in the golf cart, you should get extra points for that. Everyone
had a real Men of Genius audio spot years ago. The golf ball picker upper guy. All right. So it touches a lot of teams at F5. I know as we on DevCentral can get out there and see and meet with the community, we try and get out. But you and the solutions engineering team, but there's some account members as well. How far does this program stretch?
It goes all up and down the entirety of F5 essentially. So at times we can talk about things with support. We can talk about all segments and customer bases, right? So you may see customers that have just a few F5 devices or virtuals and deployed, or some Nginx instances deployed, all the way up to hundreds and hundreds of devices. So the management is interesting. When you start talking about the issues that customers are seeing, because we always like to have some open mic time, if you will, at these events too. We start talking about issues that one customer sees, and like, hey, I'm kind of seeing that. And so the collaboration is great. But as far as how far and wide does this go at F5? It's everywhere, right? We're pulling folks from product and that sort of stuff all across the board.
I know we're doing, our focus in this roadshow is North America here this spring. For the other territories, for people who are watching now in Europe and the Middle East and Africa and Asia Pacific areas, are we looking at roadshows there as well?
Yeah, that's my understanding. My focus mostly has been around North America, but they do have some opportunities for that happening as well. Content will be similar, is my understanding, but I don't have the logistics or the dates and locations yet for those.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, we got a comment from Boo, my compatriot on the DevCentral team. We, in fact, even before Boo was on DevCentral, he tried to get John and I up there. I don't know if that was right at the beginning of COVID, or COVID was just about to kick off, or if it was even earlier than that. But it's never worked out for me to get up there to Vancouver yet. But one day I will get up there. And then John's saying you talked about golf, go-karting in Dallas. That's a lot of fun. Are those like the super fast indoor karting, John, or is that just like the little slick tracks outside? You have to post back on that, because those indoor like kart racing ones, that's no joke. Those things go fast.
Just remember, Rubbin's racing in those things. It's going to be fun. So
yeah, those scare me a little bit, because I tend to be a granny driver. I drive, at or slightly above the speed limit. I'm not a big risk taker. One, I don't have real great hand-eye coordination, so it would be dangerous. And even playing video games, I overstick everything. And so
I'm always in Mario Kart, I'm always Donkey Kong in that one, I think. So I just
I literally can't control anything over 50cc in Mario Kart. You get up to 100cc and I'm in the wall all the time. So I know it'd be that way if I was on like a NASCAR track or something.
Exactly.
Sarah, I'll be attending New York City. Great. I need to come to a New York City event. I've been there for when F5 had an office there. Do we still have an office there in New York?
We do.
Okay. So when we had like the lab and stuff, I've been there before, but I've never been out to a user group there. So maybe next year. And we got a Portland event from Partner Channel. Good deal. So that's there's John. He's like indoor. I don't know if he said he's coming. Come visit and find out. Yeah, I couldn't make. I had a family conflict. I was going to try to come to Dallas for this one, but I had a family conflict that day. Okay, so evolution. We have the academies now, and it's the ones I've been to, we kind of have like a morning session. It's either flipped. We do lab first, and then some just briefings in the afternoon, or flipped, and then there's kind of just the lunchtime where sometimes I get to stand up and say some things and share some of the things I'm working on, or just sharing news. What do you see? How do you see academies evolving over time?
So we started with the academies. We did 2 labs. So we would do 2 labs and kind of a news at noon segment for what's up with F5 and what's recent, what events do you want to go to, and the feedback, because we are always asking customers, what's the what'd you think? How can we make this better? How can we improve? And that's going to continue asking for that feedback. But the feedback was that 2 labs was 1 lab too many, and we're trying to get our customers to the event and out of the event, so it's convenient for them as well. So sometimes we did 2 labs. It'd be 4:00 in cities like Atlanta or Chicago or Minneapolis or wherever you happen to be, and that starts to get to be rush hour. So customers would have a hard time getting home at a reasonable time that they'd be used to from work. So what we've kind of done is changed many of the events. We're going to do 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. local time. So we'll start at 10 with a lab right away. And then, of course, lunch will be served, and then we'll have some discussion and some security talks and some demos following lunch as well. So again, that'll be more open time where we didn't have in the past. It was very structured with the 2 labs. We kind of had to get through a lot, so we didn't have a lot of room for extra questions or to show some other stuff. So we're really excited with the demonstrations we've got going this time, and then kind of the subsequent discussion, because I'm very confident, especially with our AI gateway discussion and just AI in general that we're going to be talking about, that our customers are going to be thinking about stuff or hear stuff that they hadn't thought about yet, necessarily with AI and securing that component. So that'll be very interesting. And that, of course, will wrap up the event each day, the AI gateway component. But beyond that, application study tool, if you haven't seen it yet or done it yet, it was, I can say that it was the winner of customer favorite lab at App World. So we're happy to bring that out to the masses. It's definitely worthwhile to go through that lab and see the visibility that you'll get in your environment with that tool. And then also talking about API security following lunch. So it should be a good day.
Cool. Yeah. And I got a couple things I want to share about AI journeys and just encouraging people to start playing. And Boo, I think I saw a comment from him about Canada earlier, talking about how much you can actually get started with your laptop. I know everybody's talking about crazy GPUs and $6,000, $10,000 AI rigs to get started. You really don't need that. You might not be able to have a 600 token window or anything like that on your laptop, but you'll be able to run and start to kind of figure things out and how all the pieces fit together. And so we're going to start putting together some resources on DevCentral awesome. in that regard, just to get your feet wet. Here's some things you can do and test, and I'm going to talk about an MCP thing that's just like kind of blows your mind at how quickly these things are advancing. So that'll be fun. At least the ones I'll be able to share that during the news at noon. And
so there's an extra incentive to make sure we're getting to the Jason ones as well. So
that's right. Yeah, come to one of my cities, and I would love to see you. So with that, I think that this is a quick in and out. Anybody has questions, we can answer those real quick. But otherwise, we got a couple more comments here. Mississauga, am I saying that right?
Yes, you are. It's again in Canada. You're very popular in Canada, Jason. So
all right. I had no idea. So yeah, Mississauga. Look, there's I'm glad I pronounced that right. I'm usually not very good with words, but that's good. And then go out to, I shared the page, but I can bring it up here real quick. I'll share screen. And there we go. All right, so let's just pop this up here. Oh, that's not the right button. There we go. And if you go out to f5.com, I shared that, but it looks like it only hit YouTube. So let me paste it into the LinkedIn window I have over here. And let me hit return on that. Okay. So that is where you want to go register. And if you scroll down here, the sessions, we have the complete list. It starts this week, Thursday. So if you're in Atlanta area, go sign up now and clear your schedule for Thursday. You can go do some golf. And then Chicago, Columbus, I'll be at next week. So the 3 next week are Chicago, Columbus, and Dallas. And then I'll be in Denver May 6th, and then Kansas City May 8th. San Jose is also May 6th. Phoenix is the same day as Kansas City. Mississauga May 14th. Portland is also May 14th. Charlotte, Vancouver on the 15th, and then jump another week. Minneapolis, Houston, Philadelphia. I'll be at Philly. My boy's graduating from conservatory right down the road, so it worked out for me to be at that one that week in and around a Red Hat. So if you're going to be at Red Hat in Boston, Boo and I will be there the 19th Boo will be there whole week. I'll be there the 19th and 20th. So come see us. Find us at Red Hat in Boston. And then Pittsburgh is June 11th, and then New York City June 17th. So we wrap in New York City. That's the last one for this session. So if you're in one of those cities, make time to be there, because what you can do in person is so much more than what you get online, because of the conversations. And let's be real, I love working at home. Working at home is awesome. I don't ever want to go work in an office again, but being able to be with people frequently enough to get that FaceTime and have that water cooler talk, not just like, what's going on in the sports world or politics, if you want to do that, but being able to bounce ideas off of each other, so much more likely to happen in person than it is, just calling somebody up and, hey, let's whiteboard. It's just more organic and natural.
And we do see it all the time, right? Where like I said earlier, customers start talking, or they hear a customer talk about how they're implementing a certain technology or what issues they're having. And a lot of folks come away with, wow, I didn't think of doing something that way. And, that'll enable some other conversation, or maybe a solution that they didn't see coming, that didn't even make the agenda, right? That was just something that came up in the middle of the day, and they happen to talk to someone at their table, or just worked out. So we really like facilitating some of that conversation as well, right? We like these events are bringing out that sort of, collaboration within our customer base as well.
Yeah, totally. And Boo has a good point here too. Back on the tool thing, open your web UI with an open API key, 4.0 for pennies instead of $20 a month. Yeah, you do the API side. And funny story about that, I started automating some stuff on DevCentral for how we, take information and get it to social and all that. And I was so worried when I set up the API. It's like, okay, well, we'll put $20 against this. I put limits and all that. And I'm like, I may blow through that in a week. So I just want to, I think we set that up 7 months ago. And I think I've spent like 31 cents in all the automation, and it's doing daily automation. It's not like it's, I've only done it like 5 times. I've been doing something 5 days a week for 7 months, and I've spent like 31 cents. So, what he says is true. You can do quite a lot on the API without having to pay the $20 a month for Pro on the desktop or web version. So anyway, with that, Joe, any parting thoughts?
No, I look forward to seeing folks at the academies this spring, and go F5. So
yeah, and hopefully, I don't know if any of our cities are going to converge, but I hope I get to see you at one.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. So thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
All right, appreciate it, Joe. Have a good day.
Take care.
All right, everyone, that is a wrap for us. Thanks for joining today. And I hope to see you at one of the cities that I'll be at. And if you're in a city that I won't be at, maybe I'll see you next fall during the roadshow. But come support your local teams. You're going to learn a lot, and you're going to be glad you did. And you'll meet some other people who are doing F5 things, and you'll learn from them too. And you'll be able to share what you're doing with them. And so it's all goodness. So make time to go out to an F5 Academy in a city near you for the Spring F5 Academy Roadshow. And until next time on this channel, we'll see you out there in the community.
Well, thanks for checking out that video. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. While you're down there, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. You might want to check out one of these videos over here. And if you haven't already, go check out community.f5.com. This is where all the DevCentral Connects hosts hang out, as well as the rest of the community. It's free to sign up, and we'll see you there.